Hello YouTube, Asuma here with a Minecraft tutorial. This is the Retractable Workbench and I'm going to show you what it is, how it works and how to build it. The Retractable Workbench is a machine that allows you to hide a workbench within a wall and bring it out using a lever and put it away again. In this tutorial video I'm going to teach you how to build two different types of retractable workbench. The first one is simpler to build but means you have to have the workbench at the bottom of your wall. The second one is more complicated to build but will allow you to have the workbench in the middle of your wall. Now I'm going to show you how to build the retractable workbench. Rather than build this block by block or layer by layer, I'm simply going to explain to you what each part of the circuit does, how it works, and then you'll be able to understand it and build it in your own world. To understand the redstone circuit behind the retractable workbench, I've divided it up into three different parts. This red part represents the input to this green part here, which is the most important part of the circuit. I call it the Aber, and this is because it has one input and two outputs. I call these outputs A and B, and it will power up A then B, and when it unpowers it will unpower B then A. So have a look at that in action quickly. So keep your eye on these two redstone torches. And these are powering the outputs which control the two different pistons. So with the Aber in our circuit we can always retract the currently extended piston before the other piston extends. So to build this you will need your input, which goes to this first block on the Aber, which is the input block. Then we have our two output blocks and they both have redstone torches on them. We have this fourth block over here, and then you will need to lay down repeaters between them as shown here. The two outputs go to the sticky pistons and one of those outputs will need to be inverted. Now it's time to learn how the more advanced retractable workbench works. As before, we have our input, we have our outputs, we have this circuit here which simply powers A then B, we have this here which is a T flip-flop, and that controls this piston here and this piston here, which move the block that gets extended into the wall. When our input is activated, this torch here will be inverted, activating our T flip-flop. Shortly after, this torch will invert, retracting this sticky piston. When the T flip-flop is activated, it will change which output will be powered. The output will then power this piston, pushing across the blocks, just in time for this torch to come back on, and this piston will push the block into the wall. The T flip-flop is activated when this redstone here becomes unpowered. These torches will then turn on, powering the redstone below them. This in turn powers these two pistons, which will move the block from one side to the other. The redstone that activates the T flip-flop also controls the power of the outputs. So when you are building this, there are two key things to note. First of all, the repeater setting here is very important. And second of all, you will need to strategically place the repeaters on your output so that the redstone doesn't cross over. So let's have a look at it in action. So that concludes the tutorial. As always, I've included a link in the description box so you can download the map and have a look at this machine yourself. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.